Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bear's Den. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully you all are having a great week so far. And in today's fragrance video, we are going to be talking about Gourmand scents. And I got some niche over here, got some designer, got 6, and I also got an honorable mention for you all. And I just really wanted to talk on this scent profile here. It's one of my go-tos in the fall. Fall reminds me of apple pie, really sweet type of foods, I guess you could say. So like I mentioned, apple pie. Also too, you know, you got hot cocoa because it's getting cold outside as well. Chocolate feel per se. But overall, these would be some Gourmand scents for the fall and winter time. I would highly recommend you trying out, at least getting a sample, spray it, see if it works for you. And if you love Gourmands, if you've tried Gourmand type of scents, definitely check these out in the niche, in the designer realm. There's a lot I had to leave out here, but these I feel like are my go-tos currently in my rotation when I want to wear a Gourmand fragrance, okay? Now, if you enjoy fragrance content such as lists, reviews, and challenges, make sure to check out the rest of my channel after you get done watching this video. Greatly appreciate any support. And with further ado, let's roll that intro. First fragrance I want to talk about in this video is an honorable mention. It's from the House of Argos, and it is Burfa Venus. Got my sample here. I do not have a full bottle of this yet. Unfortunately for me, I am going to have to get a full bottle of this because this stuff is darn good. It leaked all over the paper here, or the basically the sample card, I guess you could call it. And this is overall, I will say, a feminine fragrance, but hey, if you're a man, you can pull this off if you have confidence. It doesn't lean too far in the feminine realm for me that a guy could pull this off easy. And you know, sometimes with women's fragrances, sometimes guys can pull them off, and vice versa. You know, if a woman wants to wear a guy's fragrance, that happens too, even though it's labeled women or men. You know, they do have unisex fragrances overall, but I would say this one's just unisex to me, to my nose, I will say. And just gonna hop into the chords with Burfa Venus here. It's fruity, sweet, and the gourmand aspect that I get a lot with this is that chocolate, okay? It's aromatic, got some ambers in it, and I do get the yellow florals along with white florals, but the things that hit my nose the most are those yellow florals. Also, I get a lot of peach, and then I get a lot of that chocolate combining with that peach. This was one that really made me come back. I sprayed it on my hand, sniffed it, kept sniffing it, kept going back for more and more whiffs. And you know, well, the first one starting out, this is honorable mention, but if you want to smell like a snack, smell like a like a chocolate snack, I would highly recommend you check out Burfa Venus. Very good scent from the house, and it's a very enjoyable gourmand in my opinion. So Burfa Venus to start off this list from the House of Argos. Really enjoy that one. Now I'm going to go through the designer list here first. And first one, this is a new release. I'm glad, so glad it came back out with this line. This line had a lot of bangers such as like Pure Havana, Pure Tonka, Pure Malt. And this one's A-Man Phantasm from the House of Mugler, or Mugler, how you want to pronounce it here. And if I had to put this one in a category like those, this would be pure chocolate. That freshness off the top on this one is very appealing to my skin. Got a little citrus flair to it. It's warm patchouli chocolate, aromatic, citrus, soft spice, and it's sweet, and it's got cacao. This, you know, I talked about a chocolate bar on Burfa Venus. This is a chocolate overload in my opinion. The performance is very nicely done on this fragrance. Longevity, very good. That's the same with Burfa Venus. That lasts forever, I will say, off my skin. This one here, very good designer. It's going, you know, as of now, I will say not a lot of people have this in their 2024 list. This is probably going to make mine. I am enjoying my wearings of it. This one is chocolate overload, I will say. Got some reminiscence of the original Amen, but hey, I cannot recommend this one enough. New release. Hopefully that Mugler comes out with more. Hopefully this was a success in their eyes and they release more from this line, because this Amen line is one of my favorites. It had some bangers, like I mentioned, and Ultra Zest is another one I did not mention that is crazy good. That one's an orange dreamsicle, so you know, kind of edible type scent. But if you want to smell, like I mentioned, like pure chocolate, check out Amen Phantasm. You will not be let down. This one, very good fragrance in my opinion. It's going to be good for that fall and winter time. Now next one, this one is probably one that everybody's heard of, and it's a very good clubbing fragrance in my opinion, but I feel like I could wear this one whenever I want, when I want, because it's just that darn good in my opinion. That performance, that projection's there, and I'm no over talking about the one that kind of blew up in this line, and it is the Most Wanted by Azzaro. Now this here, I will say, you know, I really like Wanted by Night. I really like the Perfume version of this as well, but man, this one is just got, it's very powerful, very got that sweet feel, caramel-esque. It's got toffee in it, and I never get tired of this. This is kind of very close to the Stronger With You line, okay, but its own little take, Azzaro's own little take. Warm spice, amber, sweet, woody, caramel, and aromatic in this, and I just cannot get enough of the Most Wanted here. Excellent release by the house for sure, and they've been having some success because they're releasing a whole bunch of stuff in this line here. And like I mentioned before, I get that toffee, and that toffee works so well with that cardamom in that opening that, you know, it's going to be something that if, you know, you told me, hey, I'm going out on the night on town, out of all these fragrances here, if it wasn't a date, I'm just going out with some friends or something, I'm gonna be wearing the Most Wanted if I want to smell like some toffee, if, you know, I want to get that caramel feel type of vibe. That's what I'm going to be going with in the designer realm. Next one I want to talk about is from the house of Emporio Armani, and it is Stronger With You, absolutely. I was thinking about going to put Intensely, so honorable mention to that one, but I went with this one, absolutely boozy. It's got that original DNA from this line that is very enjoyable. This is my favorite from the line. You know, I really like Intensely. Intensely just got redone recently, which is a bummer, and I'm guessing this one's the next one on the chopping block to get reworked. I haven't smelled the new Stronger With You Intensely 2024. But this is just a treat. This would be something out of these three I would wear in my date night scenario. This is awesome stuff. Boozy and with that gourmand edge to it. It's vanilla, woody, rum, aromatic, warm spice, and it's sweet as well. And it's got that chestnut to line it up with the rest of the line here. And I've talked about this one on the channel before. But overall, it is very enjoyable to my nose. That vanilla, that chestnuts, the lavender, the rum, the elemi, it all works perfect. Very smooth fragrance. And I will say, out of these three, this one's going to be the loudest, and then probably this one, and probably that one. But overall, this, you know, if you want that Stronger With You Intensely kind of something, that would be something you'd want. That's beast mode, I would say, beast mode projection. But this is more smooth, more well-rounded in the line overall, okay? But yeah, Stronger With You, absolutely. I cannot recommend that one enough. It's kind of easier to get in the US now, so that is a good thing. Enjoy this line a lot. They do have those limited edition flankers that you all you should check out. I would say I am a fan of usually all those scents, but for me, this is the pinnacle of the line right now. Stronger With You, absolutely. That boozy and that gourmand feel, can't go wrong with it. And that's how I usually like my gourmands, a little booziness along with that gourmand as well. So alrighty, next one we're going to be talking about, when I get the chance, I will be talking about, I will throw Bond number 9 in the list, and I had the chance, so I threw this one in. And overall, this is a crazy fragrance here. This is New York Nights here, and you've probably seen this run around a lot. It's a hyped up fragrance, but it just does the darn job. You know, I talk about New Harlem, but this one, oh my goodness, it is just so good, so good. I really like the bottle too, blue, that dark blue. It's caramel, warm spice, coffee, woody, floral, patchouli, and you know, you got some marine edges to this one as well here. I would say this one, you know, a lot of people want to talk about, you know, feminine, you know, I will say a man or a woman can pull this off. This is completely unisex in my opinion, but you got the caramel, you got the coffee in the base, so it's going to leave, it's going to be around, it's not going to leave, basically what I'm trying to say. And with all these, performance is not an issue, longevity is not an issue. That's the same with New York Nights here. This one off my skin is going to be more of that alluring scent. This one isn't something that's a powerhouse beast mode. This would be along the lines for me as the Emporio Armani Strong of You. It's going to sit a little bit closer to my skin, but that coffee note is so darn good, and that caramel and that coffee mixing together, just darn good stuff. And the patchouli, you get a little bit, it's not that dirty patchouli, it's the Gourmand patchouli. So what I mean by that, a little chocolate feel. Sometimes patchouli can smell like chocolate, and that's what you're getting here with New York Nights. And overall, it's an excellent Gourmand from the house, okay? I know a lot of people sometimes want to bash the house of Bond number 9, but hey, this one, it's always going to get my vote when I'm talking about gourmands here, and I can't get enough. And I will say, if you like your florals as well, because this opens up very floral, but then those sweeter notes come out as well. But great time of year to wear that one overall. And you know me in Bond number 9, I really love their stuff. So don't get me wrong, they do have fragrances, you know, I'm kind of iffy about, but usually they have a lot of fragrances I give 2 thumbs up to. So that one. And then, you know, I kept going back and forth on PDM, and kind of like Bond number 9, you know how much I love the house of PDM on the channel. I talk about them all the time, but I really want to go with Ojan. The reason why I didn't go with Ojan is because I have this in the list, so that's why Ojan is in this list. But if I didn't have that on the list, Ojan would have went in, okay? So I went with Altair from the House of Parfums de Marly, and this is the first one I actually did a review on the channel. And these and Angel Share, both of these, way back when I started making videos on the channel. I shouldn't say way back when, it's just this year. But this one, very sweet, got that vanilla up front, very caramel feel, and this one would be the one lined up with the most wanted. This would be the one I'd go out, but I could also wear this on a date as well, but this would be my going out type of fragrance. So hanging out with my friends and all that stuff. But sweet, vanilla, warm spice, musky, cinnamon, powdery, and then aromatic. You got a little citrus in there with the orange blossom with this fragrance. But this one, that cinnamon, that kind of vanilla combining together, makes it very sweet, very delectable. I have nothing bad to say about this fragrance. You know, I know a few people, when they first smelled it, they're like, oh, this isn't anything. But I've been enjoying my wearings, really liking this fragrance since day one. And overall, this scent profile, Parfums de Marly just knocked it out of the park in my opinion, with that cardamom, with that vanilla, that bourbon vanilla. And the thing that really gets me in this one is that praline. That praline makes it very delectable, okay? So performance, again, longevity is not going to let you down with this fragrance. I would highly, like I said, recommend, if you're interested in any of these fragrances that I'm talking about today, sample, try them out on your skin. If you love gourmands, you know, check them out. But last but not least on this list here, and this is one that's been highly cloned over the last year or two, and there's a reason for it. This one is does wonders, okay? This would be my date night one, okay? So, or, you know, I mentioned how this would be a date night, this would be a date night. Well, this one would be a date night as well. And, you know, be honest, I don't want to pigeonhole the fragrances, okay? I'm kind of getting ahead of myself with that. But overall, you can wear these whenever you want. But this would be the date night, this would be the date night. But also, too, this could be my date night as well. This would work in an excellent date time situation. These would be more of the clubbing ones. And I would say also, too, this one, more of a clubbing one, I would say as well. If I had to choose it, but you know, don't let me pigeonhole the fragrances here. I'm gonna wear them whenever I want, when I want. I'm gonna wear them to work. I usually wear my fragrances all the time to work. That's why I'm gonna be wearing them. Alrighty, but like I mentioned, Angel Share by the house of by Killian, woody, warm spice, vanilla, cinnamon, and got some vanilla in there as well. This one's also got that note of praline in it as well, but in the top, it's going to have cognac and that praline, cognac, cinnamon, tonka bean combo. Oh my goodness, this just does wonders. This does wonders. If I want to impress my date, I will say out of all these, this would be my number one choice here. That cognac note is very realistic in this scent, and then it dries down with that cinnamon, that vanilla, that praline to give it that nice sweetness along with the tonka bean here. And Angel Share has never let me down, and even though there's so many clones out there and I haven't tried any of the clones, I'm happy with Angel Share. Why do I need to get the clones when I have the original here? I definitely want to try out Apple Brandy on the rocks from this house, and then the new one, Old Fashioned. But I'm a big fan of their boozy scents, and like I mentioned before, you combine that boozy with that gourmand edge, you got me. You got me in a chokehold. I'm definitely going to check that out. The only thing bad about these is the caps kind of squeak a little bit. Kind of hear that a little bit. Sorry for your ears if you're listening on headphones, but the round the list out is Angel Share from by Killian. But yeah, everybody, here's my niche. Here's my designer gourmands. Let me know in the comments down below what your go-to gourmand is for that fall and wintertime season now that we are in it. Definitely time of year for these, and if you want to be smelling like a snack, go with any of these here, and it's gonna do wonders for you for sure in any scenario. And you know, don't pigeonhole your fragrances, kind of what I mentioned before. But yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments what your go-to gourmands are, and if you like gourmands, I'd be very interested to hear. Thank you for sticking around through this whole video with me, and I will see you all in the next video.